For those of you that know me, I love sales. I love real estate. I'm very black and white. That's all I do in my life. Don't expect much from me, sales and real estate. So I wanted to give you guys a process to follow. So the cash offer essentially is just the hook, guys. It's what's gonna get the seller to raise their hand. So you're doing that through cold calling or you're doing that through ads. So the people are raising their hand. Contrary to popular belief, sellers don't want your free home valuation. So the cash offer is how they raise their hand. Cash offer marketing. So what I would suggest, which is what we're doing with a lot of our community members, is change your script so a cash offer script. So instead of circle prospecting, hey, we just sold a house in your neighborhood, we're calling to see if you know anyone moving into the neighborhood, scrap that and change it to a cash offer. Are you guys interested in a cash offer? I'll show you guys what that looks like. There's paper lead programs. Aaron always talks about them. Motivated sellers, lead solo. There's a bunch.
DM me, I'll send you a link to it.
They're already doing the marketing and spending a ton of money to get people on Google that are looking, I want to sell my house for cash, submitting their information so you can pay for that lead. It's already done.
And I want you to be clear, this part is actually the easiest. I think a lot of us think the leads are the hard part. It's not. I can give you these sources, you turn them on, leads will start to show up like in 24 hours in your inbox, like bang, bang, bang. You know what the hard part is? Conversion.
Yeah.
It's knowing what to say and it's knowing the process and having the product knowledge. The leads aren't the hard part.
And then Facebook, Google, YouTube, cash offer ads. You could do it depending on your budget. So cash offer scripts, I want to give you two. One if you're cold calling and one if you're pre-qualifying or you want to transition into a cash offer. Option one is, hey, this is Tom. I know this is a random call, but I wanted to know if you're interested in selling your property on 123 Main Street or might be interested in a cash offer. That's if you're cold calling. So instead of your circle prospecting, change it to this and you're going to start getting a lot more leads. Option two, right? I have different options that I can provide with regards to the sale of the home. In terms of your preference, which would you prefer, selling the property in the open market or privately with a cash offer? That could be for probates, pre-foreclosures, any other lead source that you're calling. First, do they want to sell? Second, that could
even be with past client centers of influence.
Yeah.
Who reach out to you and say, hey, I want to sell my house. But you could ask that and then maybe like, well, what do you mean?
The reality, guys, is the way that the market is, a lot of people are struggling. They're just scared to tell you. And if you're not giving them an in for them to talk to you about what's going on, they're going to go with someone else. Because if they don't know that you can provide that cash offer, that option, they're going to go to someone like me. And you don't want to do that. There's people in your past client sphere of influence that are struggling with their payments, with their mortgages.
Well, Dan, one of the deals she did with him, it was a past client called him and they're elderly. And in New Jersey, in order to put the home on the market for sale, you have to like do certain things and you have to be present to get it up to code. It was like a whole thing. And he told them, he's like, that's what it would be. And this is what we could get. And they're like, we don't want to do that. He's like, all right, well, maybe we can get you a cash offer. It's like, that'd be great. Talked to Adelis, got a cash offer. They were super happy. Dan made a bunch of money and we were done. But do you see that came out of his database?
Yeah.
So I would be incorporating this with like everybody you speak to.
Yeah. And that it's funny because I was in New Jersey with Dan recently and the seller called him because the seller is obsessed with him and loves him.
In the car, right? He told me.
In the car. And he was like, hey, I have Adela's here. She's the one that helped us with the purchase of the house. And she's like, oh my God, tell her thank you. And then the other one is I made like a hybrid of Aaron's probate script and I added this line for you guys. So this is Aaron's probate script. So all of you that are calling probates, I'm a local real estate agent. I received your contact info because my researcher pointed out that very shortly, if not already, you will be appointed the personal representative in X estate. I realized that I may be a little premature in some way. I was calling very respectfully to simply find out if you and the rest of the family have decided to ultimately, at some point, you would like to have the property sold. That's the intro line, right? This is Aaron's script word by word. But then you're adding another option. Once they say they do want to sell the property, before we go into like, I have different options that I can provide with regards to the sale of the home. In terms of your preference, which would you prefer? Selling it on the open market or privately with a cash offer? A lot of them, like 9 out of 10, are either talking to cash buyers
they've already gotten offers.
Or they've got offers already that they're considering. And this has been like the key for even agents that are top producers already, like Mark.
Yeah.
He was calling a lot of these probates and they wanted a cash offer.
It's 50% of his business. I taught him how to do probate. It's not 50% of his business. He's one of the top agents in Orlando. He does like 70, 80 deals a year. And now because of this, just changing like one of the things he's saying, now there's more opportunities.
Yeah, he's a beautiful soul. I love him if he's watching because he did a testimonial for me. He's like, look, I've been doing this for so many years and you've just opened up my mind to the possibilities. There's so many different ways that we can serve these sellers. And he's all about serving first. So the way I want you guys to look at this is about serving. You're just serving the sellers and giving them more options. Oh, can we play it, Gavin?
Is this the ad?
Yeah, this is one of my ads that I wrote.
Is it really? That's you?
That's me.
Let's go, bro.
How do I play it?
I've never even seen it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a simple script. It's
What does it say? What do you say?
We have like 5 or 6 of these that we're running because you also have to test. So one of them is directed towards probates, one of them is directed towards cash offers. So it's like, hey, if you want to sell your property, but you don't want to deal with the hassle of putting it on the market, doing repairs, and you want to sell it quickly, reach out to Liz. Liz is my marketing name, and we can give you a cash offer. We can close quickly and make this process smooth and easy. That's one of them. We also have some directed at probate specifically. Hey, did you just inherit a house, but you don't have the time, the money, or the energy to deal with the repairs? You're already dealing with a lot. Why don't we take that off your plate? We can buy the house cash, cover all of the closing fees, and you don't have to deal with any of that. So you can focus on yourself and your family. Click the ad for a cash offer. So you can do it whichever avatar you want, and we get some really great results from the ads. And it's very simple. It's like a 30-second ad, nothing crazy. Don't oversimplify it. You can also hire someone on Fiverr, an actor, to do the ad for you if you're camera shy. We've done that too.
Or AI.
Yeah, I'm not a big
Maybe.
AI for ads because it's like not authentic.
Yeah.
And then step 2 is what we discussed today, which is qualifying the lead. And based on the situation, you can provide different solutions, cash offer, listing, subject to seller finance. So what Aaron was saying is product knowledge. That's where this comes in.
Yeah, you have to understand, if you go back real quick, you have to understand what these things are. Like novation, subject to, seller finance, performance listings. You have to understand what these things are so you can have different options you can give them.
And this is just some of you like this. ChatGPT gave me this for you guys. So there's kind of 2 directions that we can take a cash offer lead. You could go straight to the listing, disqualify for cash and go straight listing, or you could go cash offer. And if that doesn't work, you go to novation, creative finance. And then if none of these work, you can always go back to the listing.
Who are you using for your novation? Because a lot of title companies don't know how to do novation.
I can give you a couple ones here in South Florida.
I don't even know what a novation is.
Yeah, you have to work with the right title company that
you have
knows.
to-
We've done a good amount of them. It's all how you phrase it to the agent and all that. Yeah, you can offer that. So the way I see it is just an objection. So when someone gives me an objection to using my title company, I overcome it, and then they can either choose to do the deal with us, or if we feel we need to because it's the only offer, then we can pay for the closing fees. But I don't offer it every time. Yeah, and this is kind of the route. We do 4 offers on every lead, and then more listings. Here's some of the listings we've gotten. I didn't do the creative deals because I did it last time, but here are the scripts. So is there anything you guys want to role play? Because I want to leave time. Any objections that have come up for you guys that you want to role play specifically with regards to cash offers?
Jessica could be doing expired calls. I know it's Mark doing probate calls. And they both can transition really well from either one of those scripts into this. And Jessica's even really good at like figuring out if it's a good sub 2 or foundation, and she knows who to pitch it to afterwards. So if you can role play that transition, maybe the simple one, and if you have time, maybe into a novation or if that's necessary.
Yeah, so are we doing it from the
I guess you're not
prequel?
pitching, to be clear, we're not pitching a novation. What you're doing is asking the right questions so you know which is the product.
Right, but in order to ask the right questions, you need to fully understand what the novation is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like I need to really understand novation. I need to really understand what wholesale is. I need to really understand creative finance. I need to really understand sub 2. Otherwise, I don't know what questions to ask.
Yeah. We've done a lot of stuff on the sub 2 side, and whatever you guys don't know, there's people that know it. I can help you navigate it. So what Jessica has done is she puts me on a call with her sellers when we have to present a subject to. I'll go through the process, the paperwork, and like they love it. So anything that she doesn't want to dive into just yet because it's not her area of expertise yet, she'll bring me in and I'll handle all of the objections and navigate that. What Jessica's really good at is qualifying because she's like an incredible agent. So for sub 2, right? Let's say she's acknowledging that there's no equity on the property. That's a very simple way to qualify for sub 2. And a lot of people are going through that right now. They just bought the property a year or 2 years ago. They put very little money down or no money down, and there's no equity. So as Jessica's pre-qualifying, when she asks what they owe on the property, that's where she's pivoting. How much do you guys owe on the property? Oh, $500,000. She's seeing that the market right now is $501,000. So that's where she would pivot
Immediately.
A sub 2.
Does that make sense? Because she knows that. Now, the other thing that's happening in Texas is that the rents are going down. So that's also something she has to be aware of, because then an investor wouldn't be interested in the sub 2. But once she hears, if you have a client, they bought 2-3 years ago and on a VA loan or whatever, they put very little down, they probably don't have that much equity. So as a result, now I'm going to get really clear on the motivation. Is it an option for you to not sell? Is it an option for you to rent? Is it a not right? And then they're like, no. Okay. Well, I clearly can't put this on the market because with my commissions, you won't be able to do it. So what's the next option? You see what I'm saying? Sub 2. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now I need to ask a bunch of questions around that. How much is your interest rate? What are the terms? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we could sell this home where you maybe walk away with like $5,000, would that work for you? Yeah, it'd be great. I just want to like get out of it. Cool. So here's what we could do. And then you explain it to them.
Yeah, it's having the product knowledge helps you qualify. Like I can qualify the different options for a seller quickly. So sub 2, if there's no equity, automatically just go to the sub 2.
So I think the answer to that is counterintuitive. You asked a question around what to say. I would propose first study those options so you know them inside and out, and that will logically lead you to what questions to ask.
Yeah.
What happens if you call and they say, yes, I'm interested in a cash offer. How much do you offer?
That's just an objection. Yeah.
What do we answer if we don't really know?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the condition of the property. Did you have a number in mind? That's one way to handle it. Let's say they continue to give you more resistance, but you guys called me. Yeah, absolutely. I would need to know some specifics about the condition of the property. So why don't we take a minute? Can you tell me a little bit about the condition of the property? The reality is you don't have an offer for them because you have very limited information about the house. If someone's just calling you and being like, oh, what's your offer? I don't have enough information to give you an offer.
That's no different than when I would talk to a seller and they're like, well, can't you just tell me over the phone? What do you think it's worth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sellers tell that all the time. So what do we say? We're like, well, I appreciate that. And, I'm really hesitant to put my foot in my mouth and give you a number prior to like physically coming in and seeing the property. It's very difficult for me to give you an estimate of value without doing so. I promise you this though, that when we do connect, I'll bring all the homework with me. We'll look at what's active on the market, not selling, what's sold and closed most recently. And from there, we'll see a realistic range. And then it'll come down to strategy and we'll go over the strategies that you have because I want you to feel comfortable with the one we end up choosing.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? And like, okay. It's the same question, just asked to a different person, right?
Yeah. And what you always need to know when it comes to offers or giving the listing price is you don't have enough information. So like your offer or your list price is kind of like your baby. Once you give your offer or your list price, they're not listening anymore. So you need to first understand before you give your offer.
That's right.
What's going on? Why do they need to sell? Time frame? Is it a need versus like you need all of that before just throwing out a number.
And then you can couch it in their best interest. Like, look, I know your time's really valuable and I wouldn't want to waste any of it. So if I was just to throw out a number without asking you questions, I really wouldn't be like of service to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
they give you all the information. The house has 3 bedrooms, it's renovated, whatever. I need to sell, all the details. Then what you do you say?
So then you ask a question, which is like, okay, and just so I'm clear, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to sell this on the open market or would you prefer privately with a cash offer? Be quiet. They'll tell you.
Okay,
Let's say they say cash offer.
cash offer.
Good. Well, now you have to do some due diligence, some homework, which is where Adelia would be like, okay, she realizes she's got one on the line. She's like, well, did you have an idea of what you were thinking? She's going to start asking them about their number, right? And then she'll keep triangulating around there and she'll get a number from them. And then she'll be like, okay. And then she'll be like, well, I'm not sure what we can do. I'm going to have to speak to my underwriter. Is it okay if I put you on hold for a moment? She's going to pull up. She's going to see what the cash offers in the worst condition, let's say in that geographic area, what they sold for, right? And as you keep doing this, you'll have an idea of what then you can see ones that are totally redone and what they sell for. And then you know that okay, it's probably going to take like $100,000 to get it there. And the flipper wants to make 30 grand, 40 grand. So then I'd have to pay this, right? And then you get back on the line and you're like, I'm kind of embarrassed. Like, I don't even want to tell you like this number that came back. And they're like, no, it's okay. You're like, no, like, are you sure you're not going to get like angry or upset with me? They're like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, gosh, it's like 250. I'm telling you, watch her YouTube video. You'll watch her do this. She goes like
I have
this.
a whole series on YouTube on how you do it.
I'm watching it. Because I'm a geek for sales too. As I'm watching her do this, I'm like so good, right? And then you hear the people, they're like, oh man, she's quiet again. She lets them sit in the silence. They're like, I don't know. Could you do like a little bit more? She's like, well, what were you thinking? And they're like, I don't know, like 265. She's like, oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go talk to her. I really want to make this work for you. I really want to try to make this work for you, okay? So let me put you on hold one more time.
And there's nothing disingenuous about that. Like it really is about if they're okay with that number and you can make that number work, that's what negotiations is all about. It's
Yeah.
always a win-win proposition because they want to get rid of the house and they want it to be smooth and easy. You want to help them, but the number has to make sense. So
Has
it's
to make
just
sense.
aligning it to where it makes sense. Because if you buy the house over market value, then you're losing money. So it's not serving you. But if you don't help the seller or service, like buying a house over doesn't help you and doesn't help the seller because that's where the investor comes in and needs to renegotiate or can't close. So I want to make sure I'm being honest with my number. So if I need to do that back and forth 3 times until we're at the right number, I'm okay with doing that.
And then once they say, okay, now you're like, oh, what do I do? Well, you can either do it yourself, call the delis, she'll do it with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have different options and choices.
Yeah.
You could tie it up, wholesale it. Like there's different things you could do.
We are out of time.
Okay.
But I just want to say that we can talk about this topic
We could do more
for
sessions.
Yeah.
weeks, days. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this Do More Deals Summit. It's actually a 2-day conference all day. We're going to talk about creative deals, how to do more deals, how to make more money in this market. We're flying in speakers from across the US and Canada. They're all going to come down and help us with our business. We do these monthly meetups, but they're quick and they want you, you want more. This is the event to go to.
I highly recommend you do it. Just to give you an idea, that's Leo Perea. He's the CEO of EXP. The guy next to me is Ryan Secco. That's a $15,000 portfolio. He's the vice president of Cardone Capital. Jose Luis Morales, who's my sponsor in the company. I've coached him since he's 26. He's 38 today. He does $2.4 million in top line revenue. He owns 58 doors at 38 years old. That's the beautiful, fantastic queen, Carla. John Tsai has 1,500 agents in his organization, a team that does over $2 million a year. Elizabeth Riley is number 6 at EXP. She has 10,000 agents in her downline. Jeff Quinton just partnered with us. He sold 5,000 homes in his career. And Jessica Nelson, she's been referring to.
The queen.
I've coached her for 4 years. She moved to a brand new marketplace, did 52 transactions her first year.
Inelis is going to be there too.
Yep, she'll be in the
I'll
room.
be there too.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're going to end this because I want to put an energetic signature on it. Everybody stand up. The energy that you bring to information is the same energy you bring back to the information when you're revisiting the information. So high energy equals high income. Yes?
Yes.
I'm sorry. High energy equals high income. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to do to put an energetic signature on our time together is what's called 2 claps and a Ric Flair. If you don't know who Ric Flair is, I feel bad for you. Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! Let's go have an amazing rest of the day on purpose. We are now 2.5 months from 2025 being complete. I have a question for you guys. How has the real estate market been treating you? And some people say awesome, but here's what's true in my experience because I have the good fortune of speaking to agents all around the country, independent of what they post on Instagram and their silly little keys at closing. Agents fit into one of 3 categories. Number 1, 2025 has been exceptionally difficult. Notice the energy in the room?